Hello and welcome to Stubtown, PSU TV's review show. Today, we're talking Shin Godzilla. Okay, so Shin Godzilla. Who wants to break down, give a little snippet of what the movie's about?
Should we do intros first? Or?
You all right? Fine. Intro. We brought back the Dream Team, the first episode team. To my left, I have Tarquin Boyat, the marketing director for BSU TV, and to my right, Junmi Hatcher, former station manager and current filmmaker with Just Some Movie Junkies. So. We're very excited to talk about this movie. Apparently, not so excited as to skip intros. So excited.
Just keep it real time.
Junmi gets to do the breakdown now. You know what I'm
I don't get to do the breakdown.
I'm just kidding. Who wants to break down the movie? Let's give a little summary.
All right, I'll break down the movie.
Okay,
cool. All right, so in what can only be described as classic Godzilla fashion, Toho Studios has come back with another great interpretation and reboot of Godzilla. So, quick breakdown is a sudden event happens in Tokyo Bay. The Japanese government goes into a mad dash to make sure that every single committee that could be committed is committed. And they form a response. You laugh because you know it's true.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it's basically a lot of watch and wait until suddenly they come up with oh, we need to give them an answer. They give an inevitably incorrect answer of what the situation is, and then this big monster starts crawling through the rivers of Tokyo. And then it's a matter of man versus monster for the next 2 hours.
Yep. Oh man, and you may have noticed that we're joking and stuff because one of my favorite things about this movie is that the first half of it is pure satire. It's all what do we do? This is unprecedented. And well, should we attack him? Well, I don't know. We should check with the numbers, run the numbers, see if that guy over there. And I really appreciated that though because it feels like a very the original Godzilla talks a lot about the whole nuclear blah 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 all that stuff and following that up with something that talks about Japan's current place on the geopolitical stage was whoa, hey, awesome! We're gonna use monster movies to talk about stuff. All right, let's do it.
Well, I mean, Godzilla was what's the best way to put this? It was basically social commentary.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's always been social commentary.
Yeah, before it devolved into a Saturday morning cartoon show, it was absolutely...
You say devolved, I say happy fun times.
Iterated. Before it iterated into... which I thought the tone of this was really interesting because, man, they sway from pretty direct, almost parody and satire to this very dire tone at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Which I actually credit the special effects with allowing that tone shift to happen because it is sudden.
Yeah, it is very sudden.
Oh man.
Yeah, I would agree. One thing that I noticed right when the movie started is it's written and directed by the guy who made Evangelion, right?
Yeah.
The famous giant robot versus giant monster anime. Yeah. And it almost felt like it was directed like an anime. We saw no lead characters for the first bit, quick takes.
Oh, man.
It felt like it was directed like a Japanese cartoon, which felt really cool.
They do bury the lead in this movie. They're here is 50 characters.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, it's well, with lack of a better term, it's very Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
In their style, because they want to establish more of the stage of everything that's happening, as opposed to, hey, this is the guy and this is the girl, and they're doing their thing, you know.
Which, oh my god! So inevitably, this is going to be compared to the 2015 Godzilla.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I don't think 2015 is going to come out well for it.
No.
Because that thing you described, like setting a stage and having that, worked so much better than following, oh god, Kick-Ass around for 2 hours. I forgot, what's that guy's name?
I can't remember the actor.
Taylor Thompson Johnson?
Dude who played Kick-Ass.
It was also Quicksilver, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, his character, like, following just one guy as he has no agency and is bummed around the nation, versus, like, seeing the people who are actively responding to this, it's like, how in the hell did they mess that up? Like, especially once you see it, because I could see them going, oh, that might be boring. But when you see it, you're like, no, like, these people are all under incredible pressure and strain, and like, I love that. I think that's part of why the tone shift works too, because like, them under pressure is why it's funny at the beginning, but that same factor later on is what makes it feel so serious and driven. And it's like, that's smart. That's just smart.
I appreciate. I appreciate that it is a ensemble kind of situation, and you really do get individual characters as the movie goes through. Like the Special Brain Trust Committee that gets formed, they're hilarious.
Yeah,
those are some hilarious people.
Oh yeah.
Especially the guy Sergeant it's like, okay, people, you're all here because you're like weirdos and you're
just the worst.
You're the worst people, but you're also really good at your job, so we're gonna save the world, you know.
I love that. In that same speech, he's like, "We're all equals here. There's no talking rank. Blah blah blah." Inspirational speech, and then immediately they're like, "So no ranks? All right, so you can leave. We don't care about you anymore." But yes.
It's interesting though how the first half of the movie feels like a political drama.
Slash comedy.
Slash comedy, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that's very purposeful. And I do what and I've reiterated this from like when we did League of Gods or whatnot. But one of the best things that I love about Asian cinema is they don't care about conventions.
Oh yeah, no, they don't care about conventions.
Oh man, I love these throwback shots of just intense center, like close-ups of people just being emotive, you know, and stuff like that, and then huge wide shots of like your huge landscape, you know, establishing stuff, and it's
that's another thing that I forgot to mention about the directorial style that made it feel like an anime. Really long, static, wide takes.
Yeah.
Like you don't see that a lot, but in animes, especially animes like Evangelion, if you go back and watch it, it's loaded with just long, static, crisp wides of the city with the monsters in it. And this movie was loaded with them.
And I like that, but even Evangelion, as a side note, that's an expression of how you can take that to the
too far.
Too far. Yeah.
Yeah.
True. He nailed it with Godzilla.
I will say
he nailed it.
There's a lot of good use of indoor landscapes. Like the way that a lot of these rooms are shot, you get a great sense of who's where in the room, and that really helps the drama play out a lot. I enjoyed that. This thing is edited quick. Oh man, they're like, we're in a room, just people talking. Oh god, oh keep cutting. It's exciting, I swear to God. Like,
but the timing of it is seamless.
Yeah. I mean, it's so noticeable. Like, one thing that threw me off, and subtitle readers, get ready.
Oh yeah.
Because, oh my god. There's a lot of on-screen text in this movie, like, this guy is this guy, this guy is this guy, you know, this room is this. So you're trying really hard to read where you're at, what the dialogue is going, who that guy is, so you're just bound to miss stuff. I know I missed vital pieces of information.
So kids, if you want to increase your learning adaptability or reading skills, then simply watch foreign films and anime.
Absolutely.
It's true. Especially like you were saying, there's the text slide, and then there's the intro slide that's longer than the text slide, who the character is, like same time for 2 seconds.
All the titling slides and everything.
Yeah, that's another thing that made it feel like an anime.
Yeah.
It's like I'm watching One Punch Man. I was like, what? And that's kind of another thing that made it seem sort of like lighter and more funny. In the beginning.
Absolutely. And
then it changes.
Let's do. We'll talk about the design of the character real quick, and then we'll move on to spoilers. because I want to get this. I love the way new Godzilla looks. This guy is so awesome, and I love the lighting especially. Like the fact that like at first when I first saw him, he's got the like gross like red streaks. I was like, oh, he's just like gross looking to be gross looking. But the fact that those like change color and indicate like his health or activity or anger, I was like, I'm way into this. Like, oh man, the atomic breath.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the spoiler section. Yeah. But like when he reaches his final form, he looks like a giant CGI dude in a rubber suit.
Oh yeah, but apparently they cut out.
It looks cool as hell.
Apparently they cut out a lot of the rubber suit use. Like they started trying to use it, but ended up being like,
makes sense.
It's just not working.
They just animated and it made the Godzilla look stiff. It made him look like he was covered in rocks, and he had these tiny little arms that were like goofy looking, but it's so like intense at the same time. And he's got the jagged teeth and the mean looking face.
Remind me about the arms. I want to talk about those.
Oh
in the
yeah,
section.
But Godzilla like had little to no facial expression, just like he did in the originals. I love that too. He just seemed like an automaton monster.
Proto Godzilla, which is what I'm calling little. When Godzilla first shows up, he's smaller. So
he
that's
evolves.
a spoiler, but we're talking about design things. But like his face, he's got this very lizard face with these big, just
lizard eyes.
There's no emotion. They're perfect circle eyes on the side, and he's so just doesn't care about what he's destroying, and just having that lack of emotion made him seem much more like primal. I enjoyed
it almost just seems like he's a scared animal who doesn't know what's going on, which is exactly what Godzilla is.
Yeah, and that's the emotion or the effect that you're supposed to get from that.
I enjoyed that much more than let them fight.
The American Godzilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now
I
know I play the modern here, but okay, I think they're very different kinds of movies.
They're super different.
Yeah.
So to compare them would just be asking which fruit do you like, apples or orange.
But distinguishing the differes is important.
Also, sometimes, even in different styles, there are levels of quality. And while they are different oranges and apples, one orange is a little spoiled, and we're talking about a pretty good apple.
Yeah,
I agree. I think we can address the mold on the orange with, like, acknowledging
but it's mold that you can pick off, and you can eat the thing anyway. I mean, the original Godzilla, not original by any means at all, but the American Godzilla that came out, like, last year, 2 years ago, something like that. I mean, it was a fun movie, but it did not feel like a Godzilla movie. It felt like just a kaiju monsters fighting monsters movie with Godzilla in it.
Well, I think I mean there was some elements that were traditionally Godzilla, but I don't think you could find a more true Godzilla movie than this. This one.
This movie is unequivocally original Godzilla.
Yeah. Like it's awesome.
I mean down to the. So when 1954, the original Godzilla came out, they had a recut for the U.S. markets, right? Which was all Raymond Burr.
Oh my god!
And they even came down. They even the reboot Shin Godzilla even had a cutaway
of Americans.
Hello,
we are Americans.
doing their thing.
Yeah, speaking English.
And, it was great because it was just that little bit of a side that's like, yes, we recognize that this is part of the history. And now let's go back to what's happening in Japan. That's basically.
What do you think, fellow American, about this thing, Mr. President? Oh my God! Like the English dialogue is painfully.
It's hilarious.
It's really fun. All right. Let's go. We're just slide on to spoilers. We're practically doing spoilers already.
Spoilers!
So, real quick, recommend, don't recommend. Let's start. June.
Totally. Recommend. 100%. I was giddy the whole time watching through, just from the very beginning, and I'm like, oh my God, they're totally doing it. It's gonna be exactly, yes, awesome. You know, and I was thrown off for a second when I saw Proto Godzilla. I was like, what are they trying to do? And then I'm like, oh, you know, and then you see that whole thing with him evolving and everything. It's like, oh, that is so much better.
Yeah,
that's so much better. So yes, 100%, go see it. If you love Godzilla movies, you will love this movie. If you have never seen a Godzilla movie,
check it out.
Yeah, definitely. You should be able to enjoy this even if it's not your cup of tea.
I think so too.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I would 100,000% recommend it as well.
It's a lot of percents.
Oh, yeah, it is. I love this movie. I'm honestly looking forward to when I see it again. And I can't say that about any movie, like very many movies, but I just love this one so much. It was so much fun. It was new. I'm not used to seeing foreign films. So it's just like I kind of have like a bias. I kind of generally tend to like any foreign movie I watch just because it's different than the jargon that I usually see.
Mm-hmm.
But this, like, on top of it, was just so good and so fun. On top of being like a quality film as well.
Nice.
Would recommend, definitely.
So I'm also like super on board with the recommends. I'm gonna throw out some cautions just so that we have a little bit of balance.
Yeah.
The only caution I would say about this is there's a lot of talking. There's a lot of talking heads and meeting rooms and stuff. So it's not gonna be just like a mile-a-minute action film by any stretch of the imagination. They do. People argued a lot for like the Jaws theory with the 2015 Godzilla. Like, if the less you see it, the more scary it is. But that movie didn't have a lot going on in the foreground. Like while you were waiting for Godzilla, this one has so much going on in the foreground that it's like, oh yeah, and we need to cut back to Godzilla because that's why people are here. So I really got into it. I really enjoyed the characters and a lot of the evolution of the character. Yeah, I would say the only reason not to see this is if you really either A, you really hate subtitles because this is not friendly for that, and B, if you don't like political anything. Like if you're like, I can't even watch The West Wing, like don't watch it. Like
if you don't want to hear a very strong message.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, man. But that being said, I personally recommend it. I think it's great. I think it's something a lot of fun and really enjoyable. The majority of people out there are gonna dig this movie.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're gonna head over to spoilers, get into talking about weird stuff with Godzilla. Hopefully we'll see you over there.